it's Melissa with the Creatives Tarot, the YouTube channel that helps you supercharge your creativity and pursue your passion. This is part 2 of the What's in Your Blind Spot series, which means we're going to be looking at cards to give us guidance on our business life, our career life, our creative entrepreneurial self. I don't know. I'm kind of sick, maybe on a couple of meds, so maybe that's not a word. But yeah, that's what we're going to be focusing on today. I'm going to get right into the reading. If you want to see the other parts, I'll link them down below, but the part 1 is focused on your creative projects. So if you're like, the business thing is not for me right now, but I really am feeling stuck on a creative project and I want to know what's in my blind spot, what I might not be considering, check out part 1. And if you're thinking, oh no, I need to talk about my personal life, then that's going to be part 3, video number 3 in this series. So check that out as well. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, let me know how you like this new setup, and also what other themes or topics do you want me to explore in future videos? Okay, let's get into the reading. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Ooh. Cards are going everywhere. Let's throw them out. Okay. All right. So first thing is justice. Okay. So something in your life, something in your career right now is feeling like you're fighting for justice. And I feel like this is a common theme, particularly around money and feeling like you're getting paid your worth with what you're providing. And look at this. 5 of Pentacles also came out all at the same time. Actually, I'm just going to keep showing you these because they're all important. The 8 of Swords is in reverse. We'll walk through these in a second. And the Emperor is in reverse. And these are all of these came out at the same time. So let's first start with this Justice card, right? I feel like you're feeling a sense of fighting for justice, that maybe you're not in the middle of a decision or a choice or a situation or circumstance that is unjust, that you're feeling like you're being taken advantage of. But I do think that the choices that you're making about whether or not to sign with somebody, whether or not to take a new job, whether or not to do this freelance work, I feel like there are things here in your business decisions that you need to pay attention to the equity and justice issue of it. Is it the right thing to do? Not, is it going to make you money? And I also think that this is definitely a choice around money, and also around gatekeeping and feeling like you're left outside, feeling like you are not getting the recognition that you deserve, the abundant opportunities, the material possessions that you deserve. This is that starving artist, right? The starving writer. And I think this mindset of like, we've pushed that away. I hope if you're a regular on my channel, I hope you've let go of this idea that you have to suffer in order to create art, that you have to be a starving artist. That is just not something that I believe in or I practice. And I think that we talk about the law of abundance. We talk about those mindsets that keep us trapped. And I think that is one of those. That is a myth. There's a lot of money in art. It's a matter of who is willing to pay and who's willing to stand up to make sure that artists are paid fairly. And I feel like this is also a changing of the guard, especially with this Emperor card in reverse, right? The Emperor is authority, it's dictators, it's that controlling, ruling, heavy presence of order and structure and tradition. And I think you're clashing with that. So I definitely feel like business-wise, some of you are taking a more untraditional route, or you're questioning that, right? This 8 of Swords tells me that you feel trapped, you feel pressured, you feel like the situation you're in is not helpful, and that your hands are tied and there's nothing you can do about it to get that justice or to have a more fair contract or opportunity or agreement. And this is when this 8 of Swords comes up, it tells me that that's a myth that's in your head. It's a lie. The swords are all about your mental and intellectual sort of strength and mindset. And this card I love in particular because You see her reflection, she feels tied and bound, but her reality, she's not. And so this is about, how do you get your mind right to realize that you have more agency and power and control over the situation than you actually believe. I also am thinking about gatekeepers. So I'm thinking some of you, this is a nudge to maybe self-publish, to start your own indie press, to go with a smaller agency, to not sign with a manager. Of course, this is not business advice. So like, please, these are blind spots. So these are things that you might want to ask your lawyers, you might want to ask a legal friend, you might want to ask an advisor about this and about other options that maybe they're not even telling you exist, or find the numbers yourself. Don't rely on somebody, is what I'm sensing, to tell you what the right avenue is in terms of your business, in terms of a particular project or a long-term contract that you might sign, thinking that it's going to get you money. Like, if that deal comes back and it's not what you expected, question it, ask questions. 3 of Cups, trust your tribe, trust your sisterhood, right? Build relationships. So make sure that whoever is in your inner circle, especially your mentors, that you're leaning on them, that you're asking them about their advice. Do not be afraid to talk money with the people, like with trusted people. And if you don't have these people, find them. Find 1 or 2 people that you can depend on, that you can have transparent conversations around. And I will give you an example. I have a couple of friends where I can say, hey, I was having this conversation about someone for this job on a show, and I don't know, they're saying that they can't do this in the contract. And that friend, me being transparent about it, that friend said, oh no, that's not true. I know 3 other people who have had them agree to these terms. So if they tell you that, that's incorrect, right? Or here's a strategy on how to push back. So lean in to those friends, make those relationships, and don't be afraid to start the conversation. Trust in your own intuition, your own power, your own divine knowledge. This is your ability to trust in the universe, to connect to the universe. So if something doesn't feel right about the situation, lean into it. Like, don't ignore it. Like, this might be in your blind spot. You might be feeling this and have not put a label on it yet as your intuition or your gut instinct, but it's there. So acknowledge it, take a beat. Maybe it's really small and it's just a blip, and you can address those concerns and move forward. I don't want to scare people off of making a decision or a deal that's going to be beneficial for them. But remember, this is about things that might be in your blind spot. So it's things that you might be avoidant, hesitating, not digging into as deeply as you should. And sometimes just getting the answers is enough to be like, oh, okay, this is still the right choice, but I've actually paid attention to that fine print in that application, and I know what the terms mean now. So I'm walking into it with my eyes wide open. Let's get some oracle messages. We're going to start with our spread machine cards and see if there's any themes that come up. Here's one. Excuse. Oh Lord, oh Lordy. What excuses are you making to escape and avoid your problems? How have you been refusing to take ownership and responsibility for your reality? Okay, that's a heavy one. That's a heavy one, friends, right? Because this could be that you're not getting the deal or the terms that you want financially. And that could be because you're avoiding something. You're avoiding having the conversation. You're avoiding submitting queries. You're avoiding pitching. You're avoiding getting into this business space. And it could be, again, when we talk about your own agency, I think that high priestess is important, but also, oh, here it is. But also this, right? Taking control. Like, you've been letting other people into the driver's seat, and you've been relying on them and making excuses for why you can't make those decisions yourself, why you don't have enough knowledge or information or experience to ask questions. Why you have to say yes. And you know what? I get it. Like, it's hard to break in. The gatekeeping is legit in these creative atmospheres. And some people will tell you, like, say yes to anything and everything. But that's not always right for everyone. So trust your intuition, trust your gut here. Pay attention to that. Any other themes that you want them to know? Oh, goodness. And they're all gone. Release. To let go, to say goodbye, to set free, to leave. Oh, goodness. To move on and move forward. I think this is so important because know that you always have the ability to walk away, right? If you start asking questions and their response is really negative or dismissive or sexist or racist or bigoted or whatever, entitled, if they have a reaction to you asking questions that doesn't sit well with you, that is a red flag. Pay attention to the red flags and know that you can release that and you can walk away. It is okay to walk away. It is okay to say goodbye to someone that is going to be toxic, to a relationship that is going to be toxic. That can do more damage than good, even if on paper it looks like a really good opportunity. So I want you to pay attention to that and know, just like tuck that away, that as you're moving forward in these business decisions, you always have the opportunity to say no. Maybe it's an editor that you hired to work on your book and they're not turning stuff in fast enough. Maybe you purchased a cover design and you've always used the same cover designer and this one didn't meet your expectations, right? If you're dealing with a vendor or just know that you have the ability to make a decision that's best for you in your career and to stand by that decision. And it is okay. It is okay for you to walk away. It is okay for you to ask questions. And it's okay for you to know your worth. Let's get some Sacred Creators messages as well. Let's see what's coming. What's coming? Oh, the cards are all over the place. Oh, you are a light. You're a light. Remember your worth. Oh, man, are you paying attention to your worth in these conversations? Are you paying attention to your talent? I think this is so important. I almost glossed over this, but I'm going to slow down because as artists, as writers in particular, we are often introverts. We are often passive. We are often more comfortable putting words on a page than dealing with confrontation. And the way in which this industry works is that we are often made to feel like we are a cog in a machine and that we are replaceable. But I want you to remember that you are the talent. You are the talent. You are a creator. You bring things to life. Without you, the agent has nothing to sell. Without you, the publisher has nothing to publish, right? Without you, the actors have no words to say. The directors have no script to direct. You get it? You get it? You are the light. You are the sun as a writer. And I really, really want you to remember this, no matter what kind of decision or choice or obstacle you're facing in your career right now as a writer. Remember that you are the talent. And I know that is really hard to do when you're like me and you're breaking in and you're hearing no all the time and you feel like there's so much competition out there. Like it can be hard to stick to your grounds, but trust me, like you knowing your own worth and not acting out of desperation and standing your ground is going to get you a lot farther in life. It is just going to get you farther because people are going to meet you where you are. And if you set up the expectation that you are a doormat that can be walked all over, people will walk all over you and they won't think twice about it. You are the light. You are the talent. And essentially, I know I hate to say it, but a lot of these people work for you. So just remember your power. Let me see if there's one other message that wants to pop out here in terms of your blind spot. It's so empowering. I hope you feel compelled to make bold choices and bold decisions and ask questions. Above all, ask questions about the choices and the situations that are coming up. And don't feel bullied into making a decision that you don't feel like is right or just. Yeah, I don't see anything else coming up. Any last messages? Any last messages for this group? Oh, here's one. Okay. Oh, nourish your sacred feminine. Right? And I actually think, after all that waiting, I actually think this is perfectly aligned with this last one, right? Because in the business space, we are meant to believe that feminine energy, that women, that females, that we're meant to believe that we have less power and agency, that there's less demand for our work, that we're not as good as men, that feminine qualities are not as good as masculine qualities, that masculine qualities somehow carry over and are the neutral or the base, and that feminine qualities and feminine energy are not to be celebrated or championed in the workplace. They're reserved for teaching and home life and, being a part of the male gaze and beauty and all of that, but they have no place in business. And I want you to remember that you get to decide how you run your career. And you can lean into those feminine characteristics and traits. Again, trust your intuition. You've got this high priestess energy. Make sure you're using it. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. I hope it was inspiring. Let me know down below if this resonated with you, if you want me to do more readings like this. I am happy to do so. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share with a friend who you think needs to hear this message as well. I would love to grow the channel. I know I haven't been on making a lot of videos. I am working 2 jobs right now, and I was in a fellowship program for writing, but that has ended, and I'm ready to get back into making videos on the regular. So if you have ideas or suggestions of questions or topics that you want to make sure I'm covering, drop them in the comments and I will definitely add them to the queue of videos to be made. All right, take care. I'm moving on. Bye.